Welcome to this step-by-step overview of Total War Arena. In this video I will show you and explain the battle gameplay of Arena. Maps, the game mode, unit types and strategies will all be discussed in a step-by-step format. Please keep in mind that everything you see and hear is closed alpha, so everything is still subject to change. I also made a video like this on progression and everything behind the battles. You can click the screen right now if you want to check that video out first. So as soon as you click the play button you will be matched with 19 other players who are around the same unit tier. The loaded map is randomly chosen by the game, so you never know what to expect really. As of this video there are 3 maps in the closed alpha: Thermopylae, Salernum and Marathon. Once everyone has loaded up the battle you will see this screen. On the left side you can see the commanders, units and tiers your allies are using. On the right you will see the map with 12 squares placed around the base. These are spawn locations and every player has to pick one before the game starts. Once the timer runs out or when everyone hits play, the battle will begin and everyone spawns on their chosen spot. At this moment there's only one game mode in Arena and there are 3 ways to win the battle. The first one is the obvious one by destroying every enemy unit in the game. They either have to be killed entirely or routed off the field. The second way to win is by capturing the enemy base. Once you move units to the capture zone, a timer will run. The more units that are in the capture zone, the faster the timer goes up. Defenders can set back the timer by damaging capturing units. Every time a capturing unit gets hit, the timer will be set back by an amount similar to the amount of damage dealt to the attacker. Once the timer reaches 100%, the attacking team will win the battle. The third and last way to win is the least obvious one, and that is by having more points than the enemy after the battle timer runs out. You will be awarded points for basically every positive action in the game, like killing enemy units, capturing the enemy base, flanking, using abilities, and the team with the most points at the end in total will win the battle. Besides the enemy base there are more things to capture during arena battles. Several watchtowers are located on the maps and they can be captured by standing next to it with a unit. As soon as you leave the tower it becomes neutral again. When captured, a watchtower will give you an extreme amount of line of sight, which will immediately make you able to spot enemy units in forest or behind cover. Now that we're touching the subject anyway, let's talk about line of sight in Arena for a moment. This feature is more important than ever in Total War. Line of sight is very limited and sometimes you will be shot by artillery and archers while not even seeing the enemy. Watchtowers, scouting and abilities grant line of sight, and getting eyes on your enemy before they see you might be a crucial factor in the battle. Line of sight is really important and it can be really game changing in this game. So let's talk a bit about the general control of the units in the battles. Of course the controls are very similar to regular Total War games, but still a bit different than usual. Units can only be moved with a right click, there's no option to drag a certain formation with them. I think pikemen are an exception though if I remember correctly, I think you can drag pikemen. There's also no fatigue, no ammunition limit, no separate run mode, and yeah, a lot of things like that have just been left away for this game. General control and movement of units is simplified compared to Attila, and this is because the developers want to put a strategic focus on other aspects like terrain and abilities. We will get into the use and controlling of the unit types later. Let's first take a look at the different terrain types of Arena. So plains are obviously the main terrain type of Arena. There are no particular bonuses for any unit on this terrain, however this is where heavy infantry dominates. A second terrain type is forest. Forest provides great capabilities to hide your troops. Line of sight is extremely limited here, so you are safe from enemy artillery and missiles. The downside is that you might walk into enemy traps, and the fact that the forest slows you down by a lot. Cavalry and heavy infantry are a lot weaker in forest. This is the terrain type where light infantry rules. They are a lot better in these type of locations. A third ground type is a road. Roads provide extreme speed boost to almost every enemy almost every unit in the game. Roads can almost double the speed of units sometimes, and this is also a place where heavy infantry and cavalry are best. Long grass is also present in the game. These areas will almost completely conceal your units and you do not suffer any speed penalty when being in long grass. Again, enemies can always be nearby though, watch out for traps. Mountains and hills are more important than ever in this game as well. The bonus a unit gets when it is on high ground is simply extreme. Fighting enemies uphill is almost suicide, so map control is more important than ever in this game. Now let's get into the different unit types and how they perform in the battlefield. First of all, I would like to mention that the performance of your unit is 90% based on abilities. If you get into engagements without using your abilities while your opponent does use them, you will get completely shreked, destroyed. The first unit type is obviously sword infantry. These guys are the best against spear units and good in general melee combat. Sword units on higher tiers will also get access to a pillar throw, which is the only range attack with limited ammunition in the game. They are the most versatile infantry units, being able to have both a good melee and good range attack. Spear infantry is supposed to be a counter to cavalry, but are currently not good at pinning an enemy unit. They are very good in terms of armor and defense though, and they tend to last a lot longer than sword units in melee combat. Infantry units can be separated into light and heavy units as well. Light units are quicker and better in heavy terrain like forests and mountains. Heavy infantry is better on open terrain, but is a bit slower usually. So missile units are present in the game in the form of skirmishers or long range units like archers and slingers. Skirmishers have higher damage but shorter range, long range units have lower damage but longer range. Range units currently have unlimited ammunition in Arena, so they can really play a big role when you can't catch them. Cavalry is currently the most powerful unit type in the game and capable of changing battles really. Without the use of abilities, Cav isn't even that great, only doing decent damage against skirmishers and artillery. When using cavalry charge abilities however, cavalry gets extremely deadly and is able to kill almost entire units of swords and missiles with one single charge. They are mostly used to hunt for skirmishers and artillery because of their fast moving speed and extremely powerful attacks. The last regular unit type is artillery. I haven't used this class yet myself, but there are different types of artillery in the game like ballistas, onagers and scorpions. You're able to fire them personally and good hits can destroy entire units, however they are extremely vulnerable in melee and once your engines get destroyed, the battle is basically over for you. Besides these main unit types there are a lot of different ones like pikemen, gladiators and war dogs. However, almost every unit serves a different role in this game, as certain units also have their own unique abilities, like Principes have some different abilities than Italian swordsmen for example. As said, these units on their own aren't even that powerful. An infantry charge will kill approximately 5% of an enemy unit, and the same goes with cavalry. When using a charge ability however, infantry is immediately able to kill almost 50% of a unit on the charge only, and this perfectly demonstrates how important abilities are in this game. You don't lose battles because of weaker units, you lose battles because you used abilities on the wrong moment, and that is a very welcome change from regular Total War. I will make a separate video about later demonstrating the effects of the abilities, but all you need to know right now is that they are game changing in Arena. This gameplay combined with the friendly fire, terrain advantages, flanking bonuses and more things like that provide a very strategic, tactical and fun experience which is almost addicting to me right now. I'm probably forgetting a lot of things, but I would advise you to try the battles out yourself by participating in the closed alpha. The link to sign up is in the description. I also made a step-by-step overview of everything behind the battles and the progression in Arena. Click the screen right now to watch that video immediately. Please keep in mind that everything in this video is still closed alpha. Hopefully you enjoyed it and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.